America's big business, a huge industry. Millions of fans each year spend money on going to games, on buying merchandise, on watching commercials, and actually playing the sports. And it's made a $414 billion industry out of sports. Just like business school, sports are all about negotiating. And the big sports stars have to learn how to negotiate for multi-million-dollar contracts with the teams they play for, and for multi-million-dollar endorsements. But I'll get into that a bit more in a second. The sports stars are role models for kids, and going to games is an amazing experience, very high energy, where there are rivalries between schools and cities. Today we're going to be talking about football, baseball, and basketball. We chose these three sports because they're the biggest team sports in America. If we had more time, we'd love to talk about other great American sports like NASCAR, golf, tennis, or ice hockey, many, many others. But for today, we'll just stick with these three. Like I was saying, people make a lot of money off the sports, and I think people are interested in that at business school. The top number for each of these guys is what they make for playing the game, and the bottom one is for the endorsements that they get. And there are about three things that you should notice from this chart behind me. One is a year old, Tiger Woods. He fell down a few rankings. Secondly, everyone's either a golfer, a football player, a baseball player, or a basketball player. And thirdly, these guys get paid this much money to play a game. Right. I'm going to turn it over now to Doug, who's going to tell you about football.
All right, thank you, Andrew. Americans, like Andrew mentioned, love sports. We also love television and beer and comfortable chairs. And reaping synergy from combining different things. And that's why Americans don't just play sports. We like watching other people play our sports for us. Football is the most televised sport in the United States. In fact, the Super Bowl is the most televised event of any type in the U.S. year after year. But unlike ice hockey, we don't just watch football, some people actually play it. Football has more participants at the high school and college level than any other sport in the U.S., which is amazing because there are no women's teams at those levels. The reason there are no women's teams at those levels is because of what football is. It's organized violence designed to try and get an oddly shaped ball to the other end of the field. And if you're not carrying it, kicking it, or throwing it in that direction, you're trying to find the guy that has the ball and tackle him down to the ground. There's a very high injury rate in football. But like Andrew mentioned, it's not just about competition, it's of course about making money. We're talking about America. If you had any doubt that professional football is about making money, there's a team called the San Diego Chargers. Yes, they're named after a credit card. That gives you an indication. Football has also had a very famous merger. The NFL, the National Football League, that came out of it, now has franchises. 32 of them. Yes, Finance and Marketing 402 just came back to haunt you during a conversation about sports. I'm not going to turn it into a conversation on marketing, so I'm going to turn it back over to Andrew to talk about basketball.
Quickly to basketball. Not an extremely old sport, started in 1892 in Massachusetts, so a very American sport. Very tall players, the average height of a basketball player is 6'6". It's a 5-on-5 game, get the ball in the net. I'm going to tell you a couple quick facts. A few quick facts about basketball and tell you some of the different moves that are important. Michael Jordan, one of the greatest players of all time, during his entire career scored 32.1 two-pointers on average. Kobe Bryant scored the most three-pointers, 12, during one game. And a three-pointer is 19 feet away from the basket, so. And lastly, Wilt Chamberlain scored 100 points in one game, which is very few of these. Airball. Oh, sorry.
Again.
I'm too good. Lastly, the alley-oop.
Unfortunately for baseball, we're not going to be having a demonstration of how the sport is played with the ball here because it would be a little bit dangerous. In baseball, someone tries to hit a moving ball with a stick and then run around in a circle. The other team tries to get the ball and then prevent that person from doing so. In a typical 9-inning, 2.5-hour baseball game, there's about 8 minutes of actual action. Naturally, you can see why baseball has more ticket sales than any other professional sport in the world. The reason is all that downtime gives the fans more time to do calculations. Yes, baseball fans are obsessed with statistics, and it comes from the game itself. If you go to a baseball game and you listen closely, you can hear the announcer at the beginning, just like at the end of a prescription drug commercial, telling you the side effects of watching baseball. It'll be something along the lines of, warning, watching baseball may cause flashbacks to GPA 412. It may leave you with the uncontrollable urge to run a multivariate regression analysis and an unhealthy focus on outliers. If you experience any of these symptoms, we recommend you immediately seek the help of Dr. Conway. And it's no wonder that they get so excited about these statistics, because some of the numbers are very impressive. A professional pitcher can throw the ball at over 100 miles an hour. My conversion skills are a little bit rusty, but I'm pretty sure in metric, that's like 1 billion kilometers per hour. But it's all right. Don't let all the statistics fool you. Baseball is not just fun and games, it's also business. The Supreme Court ruled in 1920 that the Major League of Baseball is exempt from antitrust laws. So MLB actually enjoys monopoly rights over the vast majority of professional baseball in the United States. It also has very complex distribution contracts with various broadcasters for televising the games. But as I promised earlier, I'm not going to turn it into a marketing lesson, so I'm turning it over to someone else to talk about something that I promise has nothing to do with marketing.